You better take your time, but don't waste it. I think I'm losing motivation. I'm sick and tired of all this fake shit. I need to find a revelation. It takes a nation to raise a man, but it takes a woman to bless the nation. The music is the best education. I'm a preaching to the fucking congregation, telling me nonsense. I can't be munanganga useless. All the son of calling me digress. To ADHD, see your madness. And I know you're judging me cause I'm high. Can't keep a job in a suit and tie. Can't keep time, but when it's my time.
Yes, what's up, wonderful people? Welcome to this particular live. I do hope they're doing wonderful, and I do hope that everything is coming up just fine. Being on the tour on the 13th day of the month of December, the year 2025, and yesterday was a public holiday in Kenya. It's known as the Jam Holiday, where we get to celebrate independence and actually just getting to celebrate freedom. Because that is when we actually gained self-rule right here in Kenya. That was in 1963, and then in 1964, Kenya became actually an independent nation. And from there on, we have been independent as a country and sovereign as a country since 1964. How are you doing? How are you feeling? It has been a long weekend, foremost. Of course, when on a public holiday falls on a Friday, it means that people will actually rest on that particular Friday. And of course, also go into the weekend in that particular same kind of a mood. So I want to celebrate independence with the rest of our Kenyan people. And the question is there any African country or when we talk about all these African countries that were former colonies of the British or the French or the Germans or the Belgians, is there a country on the African continent that can claim to be truly free, truly independent, and truly sovereign? That is a question for me. Do we have any country on the African continent that can claim to be freely independent, fully sovereign, and fully free? That is my question for you, because what we have witnessed over the years is that there has been a whole lot of meddling, and this meddling is from the former colonial quote unquote powers. If you look at East African nations that were former colonies of the British, there's a whole lot of influence by the Commonwealth, and this influence sometimes may be in the form of a coercion to act in a particular way. For example, if you look at a country such as Tanzania and even Kenya itself, Kenya was actually a former British protectorate and a colony in that regard, and you do find a lot of patronage. Or sorry, I would find I won't say that is a lot of patronizing by the British on the Kenyan people, and that might be in the form of a soft power, because if you look at how power is actually exerted or is actually yes, how power is actually expressed, you'll find it mostly in the form of a soft power. But nonetheless, welcome to this particular live. Every now and then, we do get to check in, especially on the weekends, just to see what's going on with the world. And recently, there has been this particular agreement that was signed between the Congolese government and the DRC, sorry, the Congo government and the Rwandese government. And this particular agreement, it has to do with bringing about peace in the DRC Congo. But this agreement was signed, of course, in the US, and it was under the leadership of Donald Trump. But what has been going on is that there was a whole lot of body language going on. If you could read the mood in that particular room when there was a signing of this particular agreement, you would see that Felix Tshisekedi, who is the president of the DRC, according to his body language at the signing, it was showing that he has no trust. He has no trust with this whole particular process, And you could see it's like he was going into this particular, he was going into this particular ceremony of signing of the signing of this particular contract. And I believe he also refused to shake hands. He refused to shake hands.
Tshisekedi to the same table, the cracks in the so-called peace deal were already wide enough to drive a convoy through. Instead of a handshake, we got a snap. Instead of a breakthrough, we got more of the same old hatred. Trump sat in the middle smiling like the hard host, while the two presidents refused to even look at each other. When Kagame addressed the press, optimism was nowhere to be seen. He flatly admitted that nobody asked for this peace deal, not him, not Tshisekedi, not any other regional leader. This was Trump's idea.
No one was asking President Trump to take up this task. Our region is far from the headlines. But when the president saw the opportunity to contribute to peace, he immediately took it. This conflict has lasted for 30 years. We have seen countless mediations and efforts, but none has succeeded in resolving the underlying issues.
Kagame didn't stop there. He cast doubt on the entire premise, warning that the deal may not hold, and added that if things go south, no one should blame Donald Trump.
If this agreement falters and things do not work out as they are supposed to, the responsibility will not lie with President Trump, but with ourselves. It's up to us in Africa, working with our partners to consolidate and expand this peace. There will be ups and downs on the road ahead. There is no doubt about it.
But if Kagame's words weren't enough, his actions drove the point home. After his speech, he walked right past Tshisekedi and shook hands with Trump, ignoring his Congolese counterpart completely, even though they sat at the same table. In a setting built for symbolic unity, Kagame brought a masterclass in diplomatic distancing. Tshisekedi, to his credit, tried to keep the script alive. Taking the stage after Kagame, he called for a new chapter of peace, cooperation, and prosperity. He pledged that the DRC Congo would honor the agreement and expressed hope that Rwanda would do the same.
A declaration of principles of a peace agreement and also the regional economic integration framework to provide to the peoples of the region a new perspective, a new outlook, namely to finally overcome the cycle of violence, of forced displacement, of mistrust, defiance, in order to begin a new era of friendship, cooperation, and prosperity all shared together. For those involved, the Democratic Republic of Congo takes this solemn commitment to
according to the body language on that particular table and on that particular conference or the meeting, it is apparent that there is lack of trust between these Congolese president and the Rwandese president. And therefore, we are looking to see what comes over this particular accord. You know, when you talk about having a peace and agreement, then we see both parties not having any trust, because trust, I think, is the basis of any kind of an agreement that you get into. But where there is no trust, it means that then this remains to be just on paper, but on ground, the story is a bit different. But nonetheless, let me know what you feel about that particular one. That is a little bit of what is happening and what has happened recently regarding these two nations, Rwanda and the DRC Congo. But let me know what your thoughts are regarding that particular issue. Do you think that the peace accord will actually work, and do you think that peace will prevail between these two particular countries, the DRC and also Rwanda? Because Rwanda has actually been blamed for backing the M23 by the DRC, but they have distanced themselves from the M23 and other rebels, and therefore it becomes a bit of a blame, a blame game between these two particular leaders from the DRC and also Rwanda. Nonetheless, let me know what you think. Will the peace accord hold, and what do you think? Is there fairness in this particular peace accord? Because from what I did see, is that there was also the American hand which wants to actually also partake or gain from the minerals on the ground in the DRC, because that is what all these disruption and this chaos has been about, the minerals on the ground. But therefore, when you do have a peace accord like this, and also America showing interest in actually getting to have control over the minerals on the ground, then there lacks fairness also in this particular deal. And that is why I do believe that in as much as people might talk about, the peace accord being signed, but then again, we will let hold. That is yet to be seen, and we shall be keeping tabs on that to see whether that actually holds. Nonetheless, welcome to this particular live where we get to give a bit of some updates and also get to learn some Swahili. When it comes to learning Swahili, we do so that Swahili is very, very easy to learn. If you commit yourself, then it means that within a very short period, you can be able to understand and learn and be a speaker of this beautiful language. We have 5 vowels in Swahili: the A, M, E, O, U. And those 5 vowels in Swahili, they also get to, we do have Swahili being a language that has syllables with alternating vowel sounds. For example, we always give examples of the words such as kitabu. Kitabu, we have always said that kitabu is very, very, it's just a perfect example of what you do say when you're talking about a book, and it has 3 syllables, and 3 syllables are the ki, the ta, and the bu. The ki, the ta, and the bu. So this word kitabu, it shows us those 3 syllables. The syllable e in the word, the vowel e in the syllable ki, the vowel a in the syllable ta, and the vowel u in the syllable bu. So you do say ki, ta, bu, ki, ta, bu. If you're talking about the word greetings in Swahili, we normally do say salamu. If you're sharing our greetings, we do say salamu in Swahili, and that is our greetings. And therefore, we do see the 3 syllables here. So the 3 syllables here are sa, la, mu. And therefore, the syllable, the sa has the vowel a, the syllable la has the vowel a, and the syllable mu has the vowel u. So that is sa, la, mu. And those are the 5 vowels, the a, the the E, the O, and the U. Those are the vowels. Those are the vowels in Swahili. And if you're talking about maybe perhaps what we do have as the letters of the Swahili alphabet, they are all the letters that are found in the English language apart from X and Q. And therefore, if we're talking about the Swahili alphabet, it has all the letters of the English alphabet apart from X and Q. So we omit, we omit, we omit, we omit, we omit X and Q. And if we omit X and Q, it means that the Swahili language has all the letters of the English alphabet. The Swahili alphabet has all the letters of the English alphabet apart from X and Q. And therefore, we always do say that we omit X and Q. We omit X and Q. Those two are not found in the Swahili alphabet. But we do have the five vowels, the A, the E, O, U. Those are the five vowels in the Swahili language. And apart from that, we also do have the consonants. And the consonants, for example, are all the letters of the English alphabet apart from X and Q, and apart from the five vowels. Those are what constitutes or makes up the Swahili consonants. But for the Swahili consonants, we have extra, and they are made up of, for example, two combined consonants. For example, in the word, these are called a special class of consonants. For example, the C and H, the D and H, the S and H, the T and H. These are some of what we call the special class of consonants in Swahili, and they are particularly not difficult to remember. They are particularly not difficult to understand, but they are very, very easy. You will come across them. You will find them in words. For example, in the word chakula, chakula simply means food. Chakula, it simply means food. And therefore, if anyone says ninataka chakula, if anyone says ninataka chakula, it means that they want to have some food. So they would say ninataka, they would say ninataka, which means I want. Ninataka chakula, chakula means I want food. I want food. Ninataka chakula. But if anyone wants to say nipe chakula, if anyone wants to say nipe chakula, Nipe, Nipe simply means give me. Nipe is a phrase. It means give me, give me. So if anyone wanted food, then they would say nipatie chakula, nipatie chakula. They would say nipe, nipe chakula, nipe chakula. Then that would be give me, nipe chakula. That would be give me food, give me food. If you're talking about maybe perhaps water, you would say nipe maji, Nipe, nipe, forgive me. And then maji, maji would be give me water, give me water, give me water. That is simply how you would actually say give me water, because maji is the Swahili word for water. So that is Miji, maji, that is for water. If at all you wanted money, you would say pesa. You would say pesa, that is for money. Therefore, you would say nipe, nipe. You would say nipe, pesa. That would be for give me money, give me money. That would be for nipe pesa. That simply would be for give me money. Or if you were very, very courteous, you would say tafadhali, tafadhali. And tafadhali simply would be please. So tafadhali simply means please. If anyone says nipe maji tafadhali, nipe maji tafadhali, they're simply asking for give me water please. Give me water please. Nipe maji tafadhali. And if they say nipe maji kidogo, nipe maji kidogo, kidogo, kidogo. Kidogo is an adjective. Kidogo is an adjective. It means a little. So give me a little water. 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 That is exactly how you would say if you're asking for water and you just wanted a little bit amount of water. You would say, give me nipe maji kidogo tafadhali. Tafadhali is simply for please. And therefore, if you're asking for water and you're saying please, you would say nipe maji tafadhali. But if you wanted a little bit of water, kidogo simply means a little. Kidogo, it simply means a little. Kidogo simply means a little. It simply means a little. So therefore, if you say maji kidogo, it's understood to be a little water. That is for nipe maji kidogo. But if you wanted food and you just wanted a little food, you would say nipe chakula kidogo. It's not difficult. Kidogo is for a little. But if you wanted to say a lot, you would say mingi. The opposite of a little is a lot. So you would say a lot. A lot of food. You mean chakula mingi. So chakula mingi is simply a lot of food. If you said maji mingi, MAJI, that is a lot of water. That would be maji mingi. Maji mingi is a lot of water. Maji mingi simply means a lot of water. So if you wanted a little bit of water, you'd say maji kidogo. If you wanted a lot of water, you would say maji mingi. If you wanted money, a little bit of money, you would say pesa kidogo. Kidogo is for a little bit of money. A little money. If you wanted a lot, you would say pesa mingi. You would say pesa mingi for a lot of money. For a lot of money. So therefore, those are two examples, and that is exactly how you can express yourself when you're talking about amount. Amount, you would say kidogo for a little and mingi for a lot. So those are the two examples, and they are not difficult to remember. So you might say nipe pesa mingi, I mean, give me a lot of money. You might say nipe pesa kidogo, give me a little bit of money. You might say ninataka chakula mingi. Ninataka simply is a phrase, which means I want. Ni points to self. Na is a present continuous tense, then taka means want. So that would be I want. So if you say ninataka maji kidogo, that would be I want a little bit amount of water. If you say ninataka maji mingi, that would mean I want a lot of water. That is exactly how you would say it, and it's not even difficult. It's very, very easy. You only have to do a bit of practice. And we do say in this particular class that practice makes perfect. So you might make those requests for water, for food, and for other things like money and other things using those few words. Ninataka this, ninataka that. Ninataka simply means I want or I would like. That is exactly how it is that you get to put together this particular request or words when you're making a sentence and you're requesting for something. So if you do have a question, please ask. If you have a question, please ask. We do say tafadhali for please, and you do say asanti for thanks. If someone is trying to thank you for something, they would say asanti sana, which is I'm very thankful. Asanti sana for I am very thankful. All them might say pole sana. Pole means sorry. Pole, it simply means sorry. So if someone has wronged you, they might say pole sana. They might say sorry. They might say pole sana when they are very, very sorry. And that is exactly what they do mean. Ninataka, it means I want. Nataka, it means I want. Sorry, it means pole, it means sorry. And that is how you get to go about it. If you'd like to learn more Swahili, you can write to us, Black Hot Africa, Black Hot Fire Africa at gmail.com, and I will be glad to maybe perhaps respond to you in regards to any question that you might have, and I will be more than happy to do so. So you can send in a question, you can ask anything, and I would actually be more than glad to respond to you in that regard. Once again, thank you so much for just checking in and joining us on this particular live. Till next time, much peace and love. Have a happy weekend. It's Spike signing out. Kwaheri.